On the review block today is another fire-related item. We're going to have another fire in this video. I am excited. If you are a pyromaniac, you are going to be doubly excited. If you are a pyrophiliac, you are going to be triply excited. And if you're a fireman, you're probably going to be half excited. But what we have here today is the Zippo Emergency Fire Starter. This is another product from Zippo's outdoor line, which is basically the products that are not in their windproof lighter series, or the blue series, of course, where they're trying to cater to the outdoorsmen and the sports types and those kind of people. Other things include their fire starting puck, some of their utility lighters, the hand warmer, all the non-regular Zippo windproof lighter or blue stuff, basically for a wider audience of things. Now, let's move these refills forward out here for a second. Let's talk about the actual lighter itself. A lot of good things I heard about it, a lot of bad things I heard about it. Mixed reviews, basically. Now I'm going to talk about some of the good and bad things and give you my impressions on them. Let's start out as a negative Nancy, the not so great things I've heard and not so great things I feel personally about this non-lighter. Number one is people are saying that Zippo should not be branching out from their windproof lighter. They should just stick to what they're good at, and they don't really need to be using the brands for non-Zippo lighter related things. And I agree to a certain extent. I think that Zippo should try to make more core products, which means basically make their windproof lighter, but just make more and different varieties of them. I would not have a problem if they just stuck with that. But on the other hand, you have to think, if they are going to make profit on this, and they are going to take their brand name to make a profit, they could use those profits for good and not evil, and make more varied lighters. I've just seen their 500 millionth lighter design, and it is pretty hot. So I kind of mixed feelings about that. Another personal problem I have with this lighter is, if we look at the bottom here, we will see a bottom stamp, but we will not see any date codes. Ooh, that's not good. You would think that a company that has a main feature of collecting and collectors and collectivism would know that the date codes are quite important to the collectors. In fact, they do know. They started putting date codes on as a quality control means, so they could see if a bunch of lighters from April of 1967 were coming back, they would know that something happened in that time frame that they should probably look into. But they did keep them on there because a lot of collectors found that that was the absolute perfect way to find out when a lighter was made. Well, why not do that with these as well, considering also because you may know that this shape looks like something. Ah, yes, everybody's thinking, I know what that looks like. It looks like some sort of freaky Japanese sex toy. No, it doesn't. It looks like the Zippo Blue. In fact, it's the exact same case as the Zippo Blue. If you don't believe me, here is the Zippo Blue. It is the exact same case, except if we look at the lid cutouts here, one is a curved wavy pattern, and one is a straight line. I think they should have actually kept that curved wavy pattern for both. It kind of looks nice, but that's just me. But the Zippo Blue has a date code on the bottom. C of 2008, March of 2008. Why they couldn't do that for the emergency fire starter, I don't know. Maybe there's excuses. Well, it's for emergencies, it's not for collecting, blah, blah, blah. Zippo, you make collector's items. Despite what you want to think about it or not, you make collector's items, so you should probably date them. That's just a personal peeve I have with it. Another thing that people will often say about this is, well, you could just go get an Altoids tin and some cotton balls and put them in petroleum jelly, and then, you get a cheaper case. I suppose if you want a cheaper version, you could do that and save yourself some money. But then again, you're not really breaking the bank too terribly with these anyway. I actually got this lighter and 2 packs of 8 tinder sticks altogether for about $20. So if you say that the lighter itself is about $15, not really that bad of a deal at all, and you get the complete package. You don't have to go out and buy a fire steel to put in your little Altoids tin. So I mean, it's not a terrible deal, but that's basically some of the negatives you hear. Let's actually talk about the good points of the lighter and my thoughts on the lighter in general. Non-lighter, should I say. Well, here it is. The Zippo Emergency Fire Starter is, if you have not seen it before, I will open it up here. It is a striker from the blue. And I'm not kidding, it literally is the striker from the blue. Oh, pop it out there. Uh-oh, which one's which? Which one's which? I don't know. I don't know. I hope I put them back in the right ones. I hope I put them back in the right ones. Actually, literally, I don't know which one is which now. Maybe I'll figure that out later, so I'll put them back. If you followed that little 2-card Monty that I had there, you can post in the comments which one came out of which. But it doesn't really matter, because they literally are the same striker assemblies and whatnot. So you can tell a lot of this design came from the blue. It's not a terrible thing. I have my problems with the blue, but you know, it's not the worst thing I've ever heard in the world. It's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. And you have the striker here, and inside you have these 4 waxed tinder sticks. And what these are, let's take a look at one of them. Or all of them, if you want to all come out and be big YouTube stars. Come on now. What these are these little... Do not smoke in here. They are these little waxed cotton sticks. They are little sticks of compressed cotton, a little bit sticking out the end here, that you are supposed to split open along this back seam here. Fluff up the cotton, either using your hands or using a knife and shaking it back and forth to fluff up the cotton. And you can throw some sparks on it using the spark wheel. And I'm not going to do this right now, but like I said, it will be done in this video. I just decided to be smart and shoot this in 2 parts instead of shooting it all outside in the hot sun where I actually had my iPhone overheat doing it, because it was about 100 degrees outside the time I did that day with those big novelty oversized Zippos. But this is what it is. If we take a closer look at this here, you will see a rubber O-ring around the entire length of this inside case here. So when you have it sealed up, you can drop it in water and it will not leak. And in fact, it will not, because believe it or not, I actually tested this. Let's move this blue and its little spark wheel out of the way so we're not distracted. I actually put this in a tub of water overnight. No leaks whatsoever. But a negative for the waterproofness is, if we open it up here and we take a look at the tinder sticks, they are waxed to prevent moisture, but they will not prevent wetness, because as you'll see, the cotton is exposed both along this seam and this big patch right here. So if you get these sticks wet, they will not light. That's the whole purpose of the case, though, I guess. Do not get these sticks wet. So if you keep it closed, you will be fine. But if you keep it open, or you decide to get the sticks wet somehow via sweat or water or snow or any other method like that, not so much, not so much. And that's basically the overview of the lighter. Does it have a distinct Zippo click? Somewhat. Somewhat. A little different for 2 reasons, because you really got to put some force on it to get over the O-ring there, and it's the blue and not, it's based on the blue and not the actual windproof, so you're not going to get a tremendous Zippo click. But I guess if it's an actual emergency, you're not going to really care. Let's take a look at the refills here, which... Gotta knock them a little bit on this. Sometimes these refills are expensive. You can get a single pack for like $8. That's a bit expensive just for 8 sticks. $1 a stick? Ugh, not that great. But hopefully, if it truly is an emergency lighter, you're not going to need it all that often. Let's take a look at the back of the sticks here and what they say about them. Waxed tinder sticks. I'm not going to read all of this because you can pause then and take a look at it. But it does say they are water resistant, compressed waxed cotton, and perforated for easy use. Like I said, you can just split it down the middle there to fluff it up and actually use it. I will show that when I demonstrate it here in a minute. And then it says basically how to use them and other non-English languages. So, I think what I'm going to cut to now is me actually outside. I'm going to light a fire with these. Let me give you a little background, though. I had never, before this system, ever actually lit a fire in a non-traditional manner. By non-traditional, I mean some sort of lighter, be it actual butane, or a Zippo, or a match. The things you would think about when you think about lighting a fire. I'd never lit it with a fire steel. I'd never lit it with any sort of handheld sparkers. I'd never lit it with any non-traditional method, but I did it with this, and I did it very easily. And I will talk about lighting the fire when I get outside, so let's do a jump cut now. Well, here we are outside. We made it successfully outside, and I even have the lighter with me, or the non-lighter. Another thing I wanted to mention about before I start up the fire here is, well, a few more things. One, another benefit that this has is it's never going to evaporate the gas or run out of the gas like a windproof or the butane lighter would. The only thing that it's going to run out of are these tinder sticks, which you can buy refills for, or the flint, and you can replace it exactly in the same way as the blue. Just pull out this tube, unscrew the bottom, and then you just pop a new one in, just like a regular Zippo lighter or the blue. So, we're going to go ahead and get a fire started here. I even have a little piece of paper to burn just so you can see some action. I have this piece of paper, and I believe it is actually the sports section, and it says, Pats gamble, come up empty, and now they're going to burn for it. All right. Gonna throw it up into a nice ball here. So, you could say this would be like your tinder if you can have a fire going. And now we're going to take one of the actual tinder sticks, and let's see if we can light this puppy up. So we got it here. Fluff up the end. I'll take my knife out so we can use that. But we're going to split it open down the middle. Okay, and then I always like to go back and forth with the knife a few times to really get that caught nice and fluffy. Now you can see it's nice and fluffy there. Alright, now we're going to try it. Sometimes it works right off the bat, sometimes it takes a while. Oh, there we are. Oh, I snuffed it out when I was doing that. That's fantastic. Well, of course, in a real survival situation, you would have the mental capacity of Bear Grylls and Lestrade combined. But as you can see, I screwed up that first one trying to do this behind the viewfinder. So that's okay, I've got more tinder sticks here. Let's do it again to show you the functionality of them. Break it open again. As you can see, I lit the tinder stick. I just didn't light the actual tinder of the newspaper there. Fluff it up a bit. Try this again. There we are. Now I'm not screwing around. I'm a regular outdoorsman now. Move this out of the way of the camera so it doesn't go up in a million flames. Wow. Kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Bust out the s'mores, my lord, let's make some hot dogs. That was the best campfire I've had all summer. Unfortunately, that is the best campfire I've had all summer. I haven't been camping and I haven't had any fires. But yeah, you can still see down here that the tinder stick is still going, and it'll actually burn for quite some time. It'll actually burn for a couple minutes because it's waxed, and that slows down the burning. So it'll actually burn for a couple minutes. If you're worried about my back patio, I really do appreciate that, but no, it's not the first thing I've lit out here. Testing my wonderful products for you fine people. So in fact, I'm even going to put the other failed attempt right on top of it. There we go, and it's relit. So yeah, overall, it's not bad. Never having had any experience lighting fires in a non-traditional method, i.e. with matches or a lighter or something, it was really not that hard. Take out the stick, split it in half, fluff it up, and light it. And you really don't get much simpler than that, and you got nice fire that'll give you a decent enough little starter fire to get things going. I can't complain at all. So for by itself, probably about $14, and if you can get a pack on eBay with refills, probably about 20 bucks. Go out and buy one, especially if you're a Zippo collector. Impress your friends with your amazing fire building skills, or fail in front of them because you're dealing with these crazy tripods. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and go out and buy one or don't. I'm not the financial guru for your house. Take it easy, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We're about 3 minutes in, and it's still burning. It is a decent burn time. Yes!